Alright, what's up YouTube? We're here for another day of the good old Universes Beyond Slippity Slop, and I know the viewers love when I say slop, slop, slop. They say the more I say it, the better they feel about my videos. So here we are, once again, the Dan Frazier One Ring fiasco, controversy. As you can tell, this new Dan Frazier ring that they're putting out as a box topper, I believe, in the new Hobbit set is really just a flipped and somehow photoshopped edition of the original Marta Nael one ring from the Lord of the Rings set. And so over the past couple days, a lot of speculation, but of course Wizards came out real fast with their explanation. So we're going to start out with their explanation about how it ended up that this Dan Frazier Hobbit Universes Beyond Slop photoshopped, photocopied, copy-paste One Ring artifact took place. Let's read the statement from Wizards. Here we go. Message from Dan Frazier and Wizards. This was just a few days ago. I'm following up from my last video. A message from Dan Frazier and Wizards of the Coast. Recently, fans noted the similarities between the One Ring and Marta Nael, because they're the same, and the newly released image of the One Ring by Dan Frazier. Those similarities are not coincidental, unfortunately. From Dan, here we go. I made a mistake. I feel awful. I especially feel for Marta, whose work I adore. In trying to create an iconic version of the One Ring, while looking at references online, I ended up using Marta's ring as a reference and painted over it to try to depict item fans hold dear to their hearts. In doing so, I didn't make it my own. I'm reaching out to Marta privately to apologize. Artist to artist, I love creating art for Magic. I love being part of this artist community for more than 30 years, and I'm sorry to let my fans down. Sincerely, Dan Frazier. Now, this is an 80-year-old man. You think he wrote that? You think his publicist wrote it, or his manager? You tell me. It's hard to believe that he was just out here writing this. Just saying, like, how did he get to the point where he's copying this? Anyway, and Wizards is going to say, Dan Frazier is a titan of the art industry and the Magic the Gathering. He has created so many iconic pieces of art for the game that will forever be a part of our game. We value his contributions tremendously, and with that in mind, we're disappointed our review process didn't catch the issue. Once again, let's put this, they're trying to nail it on Dan, but let's talk about where Wizards' culpability is. Phew, we didn't catch the issue. Of course, we value his contributions tremendously, and that in mind, we're disappointed our review process did not catch the issue. Like Dan, we have already reached out to apologize to Marta Nael for not catching the use of her art in this piece. None of this was intentional, or was it? But we're going to make it right as much as we can. On digital version of the cards, they'll credit Dan Frazier and Marta Nael, and we'll also make sure Marta is compensated. So they're going to slip her a 20 or a hundo or whatever they think is appropriate. This is a good moment. Recognizing that we are all humans who make mistakes. Dan made a mistake. We made mistakes in our process not to catch this error, and we don't condone or accept either, but we still value Dan and his contributions and are grateful for his place in the game. Because he's 81. Give the guy a break. Thank you for the eagle-eyed fans who noticed this and for all of those being strong advocates of amazing arts and artists. Sincerely, all of us at Wizards. But do you buy it? They always cut down on come down on plagiarism real hard. So much so we have this Reddit article thread, why did Dan Frazier get a pass for plagiarism when other Magic the Gathering artists don't? And I think we need to scroll down a little bit and read some of the comments. It's been locked because but this guy says, I work with geriatric populations and cognitive decline is true. And that's what I'm going to try to argue right now, is that an 81-year-old man out here trying to do digital art, they're saying this guy only ever did traditional styles of art, pen, paper, hand-to-hand, whatever it is. But now you got this guy, you know, I've read the article before, the Universes Slop, the Hobbit, any of them, they want you to use digital art because they want to control it. They don't want you to be able to sell your prints. They don't want you to be able to sell the original art. They want complete control of the design. Now, of course, now let's hear some anecdotes. I had him sign a card at MagicCon and spoke with him. Not gonna lie, he seemed frail and not all there. When I saw him in Denver last year, I had the same experience. Not saying people blah blah blah. They did this to Stan Lee. Elder abuse is what this guy's calling it. Maybe we should call it that. This is my experience with him at MagicCon Vegas as well. He looked at my card with a sort of puzzled look, then took multiple goes at signing his name. Didn't really say much or even attempt even the lightest of small talk. He seemed that way when I had him sign my signets. He struggled to understand what I wanted. He's been like this for a few years. I think maybe 3 years ago I was at a con and wanted to have him do a sketch, and he was having trouble understanding me. He literally had to talk to his agent, and his agent told me he doesn't draw characters anymore. Hence why in the original thread I was skeptical that this is photoshopped. Because he doesn't know how to do digital. That's what I'm saying. Does this guy even know how to do digital? Is he really cognitively well enough to try to write this? I don't know. His manager right here, Mark Aronowitz, he said, according to Post, Dan confessed. Let's see what he said. He said, sure. He said, what did he say? He said, I did not know everything until today when we sat down with Wizard. We have squared everything with Marta. It was wrong. He realizes it. Unfortunately, at 81, the cognitive abilities start to fail. He did the right thing once he understood. That's what I'm saying. So even his manager, if you will, says this guy's 81, doesn't know what he's doing. Everybody else says this guy's probably never done very little digital art. So now you got this guy. Who knows what he did? Did he, in a haze, in a cognitive decline fueled haze, copy this from here to here? Did he do it on purpose? That's the thing. He's 81. He's got to make that bag for his kids. Who knows his medical bills? I don't know. He maybe needs to leave a little nest egg for his children. I don't know. He's an old man and he's working till the deathbed. A lot of people are retired by then. Not Dan Frazier. He's got bills to pay apparently, and he's at 81. He's photocopying this, tracing it. I don't know. It's almost the same. You know, they print out this slop. The Marvel is gonna be even worse than this. We just ain't even seen the worst of that yet. We'll see. And I know they like to come down on plagiarism, but it just seems like, shouldn't the art directors should have caught this? Shouldn't the art directors of Magic should have been like, hey, Dan Frazier, you're absolutely nutty, old, and don't know what's going on. Maybe we need to hold your hand a little bit more. Maybe they held his hand so much they just said, hey, do this. And then he kind of just, as an old man, doesn't know what he's doing, just, like you said, traced it, photocopied it, traced it, smudged it. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what's original. He's 81. You try to talk to your parents that are boomers and, you know, they don't even know what a cell phone is. You know how it goes. And so here we are at the crossroads, and I'm saying, is this the best One Ring card? You know, it's got the, the sort of green sludge in the background. I like it. It's kind of better than this bullcrap they got going on in the background here. Yeah, it's cool. I get it. They're depicting the final scene, blah, 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 the penultimate scene where the ring gets destroyed. This one's kind of like, hey, what's going on here? It's Dan Frazier. You just kind of got the controversy attached to it. Will I be able to save a couple bucks by getting this one? Because of controversy? Because all the Timmies are going to be like, oh, it's plagiarized. I need my UB slop to be completely digital. I don't care. I'm going to get it. I want it. I don't own a copy of the One Ring. But you know what? I'm going for this one. I'm going for the Hobbit, Slop, Dan Frazier, Marta, Nael, Photoshop, photocopied, background, swirly sludge, One Ring card. And I'm gonna save a few bucks, and I'm a bank on the controversy. I'm a bank on getting rich on the controversy. I'm a bank on saving a few bucks and slipping this in my deck and trolling other brothers on the slop.